Hello and welcome to a special Tuesday night. Normally at this time we would be doing the chill stream, but tonight we are going to do a little something different. We're going to honor my mom, or try to. Um, as most may know, she died last Thursday, August 31st of this year. We're going to try and remember her, think about her. I'm going to show some pictures. Some of them aren't the best, some of them are pretty good. I'm going to show her at different ages. Some of them I can't, you know, say much about, but except for what I know. Some will be with me, so I can say something. Some might be with others, probably not many. My mom wasn't one who really liked getting her picture taken very much. So, unfortunately, there's not a lot of pictures with her. There's not as many as I would like, but that is what it is. And I'll share the obituary on the website for those that haven't seen that yet, and a couple of the things that have been said. Um, so with that, I think I'm going to put the camera on for me. Hello. Thank you, Manuel. Thank you, JR. Let me change this to live chat. Emmanuel says, "Good evening, Rick. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're doing well. Doing good. I'm doing fairly good. It's becoming easier to deal with. The empty house is hard. Yes. Echo. I got two things here. There. That should be better now. Sorry about that. Yeah. I with the camera, I got audio coming from it, but I put it so it's uh, through my mic, and then I had my mic going as well by itself. Uh, JR's like, may Zenu be in all our hearts. Manuel says, I'm sorry about your mom. Pass away, Rick. Thank you, Manuel. Let's see what you do have. Thank you, Rick, for sharing. Echo, your audio has double broadcast. Yes. Okay, so tell me if this is wrong or creepy, but we're going to put an image right here with her. This was taken from a photo with she was with somebody. We will see that photo a little later on. And if anybody wants to come on and share any sort of memory that they have, I know you guys just probably have memories from the chat, seeing her write or her coming in and saying hi or whatever, but or maybe talking afterwards with you, with me or whatever while I was talking with you. Some of you don't have that, some of you do. And it'd be great to if you guys can remember something, um Memo says Rick lost my mom in 2014. She was 80, died on March 1st, 2014. Well, I'm sorry for your loss, Manuel. I know it's been almost 10 years, and I know it gets a little easier, but still, you see something and it reminds you. I know it's not quite my mom, but I know it happens with my grandparents, which I was fairly close to, my mom's parents. Um, Manuel's like, I remember meeting your mom last time, chatting live with you. Well, that's good. So I'm not sure what to say now. Let's go first to the OB. Oh, that's probably not up. Yes, it is. Okay. Let me click that. I'm over here. I can't see your chats right now. Okay, so the obituary overview. MacTavish Linda Ann peacefully at her residence on Thursday, August 31st, 2023. Peacefully at her residence? That doesn't quite make sense, but I think it should be peacefully died or passed away at her residence on Thursday, August 31st. Dear mother of Richard Piper Sr. or Jr., um, we put that in just to distinguish between me and my dad. You could say Richard Charles John Piper. She was she will be fondly she will fondly be remembered by Richard Allen Piper or Richard Piper Sr. Linda will be sadly missed by many family members and friends. The family invites you to a time of visitation at Dobbsworth and Brown Funeral Home, Robertson's Chapel, on Wednesday, September 6th from 11 a.m. until the time of service at 1 p.m. The interment graveside at Mount Hamilton Cemetery. Now, I know most of you can't attend that. I'm going to try and record it so you can see the service. And then there's a guest book here. There is a link to this in the chat if you want to put something in. There is a post here by a dear old friend of mine that I've known since high school, Naomi Romero. Rick is a friend, and his mom was lovely. She probably met her a couple times. She worked at a place called Eaton's Cafeteria, Naomi, and I'd go in there quite often. I had a crush on her. There's trying to get a date with her, never did. She's now living in Ottawa and married and has kids. You are my prayers, Rick. God bless. You will keep. God bless you and keep you always. In Christ's love, Naomi. And then, of course, by Thomas McGrath, who is I Am Metal. As a remote colleague of her son, I would often be on video calls and live streams with him when Linda would pop into the room to say or even chat with us. I think he meant to say hi or even chat with us for any for anywhere between minutes or up to an hour on end. She always had a good demeanor with us and clearly cared deeply for her son and the people close to him. I didn't know her very well, but I always enjoyed what little time we spent together. She was a good person and will be missed. Okay, so I'll take that down. The art and times of Jay Ryan. My condolences, Rick. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you, Jay Ryan. Bullet. Manuel says we lost our dad in November 21st, 2018. He was 80. Yeah. My mom was 17. 17, right? She wishes. 71 when she died. Shadowhawk Series says, Hail Rick, Godspeed to your mom, we're praying. Thank you, Shadowhawk. And Manuel does a bunch of prayers. Rick, you are very strong. Your family take her one day at a time. Yes. Okay, so let's see. Anybody in the background here? No. Let's see. So we got. Here's a picture I took with my mom. I took this for my mom. We were at, as you might be able to tell from the cup, a McDonald's. This was back in 2008. She wanted to put a picture up on her Facebook page. And she allowed me to take a picture of her so she could put it up on her Facebook page. Hey, thank you, Chad. Chad says, sorry for your loss. I lost my aunt the other day and my uncle in July. I pray for you both. Well, I'm sorry for your loss too as well, Chad. I will try to remember to keep you in my prayers. So, Like I just took the picture with the phone that I had at the time, and eventually we got it up. And this is since this has been her pick for Facebook since it got put up from this picture being taken. And as I said a little earlier, my mom, she didn't like getting her picture taken. So the fact that she allowed me to do this. There's been other pictures that she's posed for over time. So let's see. How do I'll pray for you and your mom. Thank you. So, hey, Ulrich, how are you? This here, although it's not a picture of my mom, this is the picture of that me and my mom. This is the picture of the house that me and my mom lived in from 1979 basically to 1989. We lived on this lower half. There was another apartment upstairs. This was once upon a time an old stagecoach house. You don't see it here, but there was some stairs going up to this. You can't see my thing up to the upper thing. I lost my grandma in 2021. She was 103. Thanks, Space Galleria, for your condolences. Yeah, I lost my grandma. Well, my grandma on my mom's side in 1997, and I lost my grandfather in 1996. They were both 88 when they passed away. So, I just figured I'd include this picture because it's somewhere we lived for like 10 years. You know, this is where I came to know Jesus as my Savior, and it's also where my mom came to know Jesus as her Savior. Well, I was living here where I came to know Jesus as my Savior. My mom actually came to know Jesus as her Savior at this place. This, if you can see over on the right, there's a window boarded up on the bottom. That's where my room was. In the middle, there's like two boarded up windows. In between, there's the door to it. And then right in front, the lamppost there, and traffic light. Behind it, there's sort of a light window you can see boarded up. That was our living room. I'm doing well. Condolences for you, Mom. Thank you, Elric. So, yeah, we're gonna actually see part of this in some of the photos, but we're gonna see the driveway here. Looks like it's a bit overgrown here. So this gives a bit of perspective. Oh, you've been in my purse. Thank you, Elric. I'm needing them very much. So, that's good. You have pictures. They tore down my old house. Well, this house is now. I'm not sure whether it's torn down, but this was an old stagecoach house, as I was saying, in the early 1800s or in the 1800s. It might have been something to do with Laura Seacourt as well. I'm not sure. So this might have been taken to like one of those pioneer villages and reconstructed. The other thing is, funny enough, apparently, after we had moved out, because we were forced to move out of this house because of a highway that was going through this area called the Red Hill Creek Express. But I heard that it was taken down and brought to a place called, I think, Black Pioneer Village. But there was a fire. Apparently, some kids or whatever, did a fire. There was a bit of fire at it. Apparently, they found $10,000 in the walls of the house. So while we were living there, there was $10,000 in the walls of the house somewhere, and we never knew about it. It would have been nice to have that when we moved. So here's my mom from the back. This is at a place called Wonderland. It's an amusement park, but they were having some Christian bands play. Yeah, most likely Black Creek Pioneer Village. I haven't been there to confirm, JR, but I want to, and I maybe I will go up soon. I wanted to go with my mom to see whether it was there or not. But this is my mom from the back. This is at an amusement park called Wonderland. They had some once a year they were having Christian bands. It was called an event called Wonder Jam. They had 5 or 6 Christian bands. So I was able to get a bit of a pic from her from the back. Uh, and what are you asking? What about? Joshua has said, "Wow." The art and times of J. Ryan says hello to Joshua and Elric. So again, this is the same place, and this time I was able to get a picture of my mom's face, as you can see. You're not seeing the bands, but if you do go on to my Facebook, there is stuff of the bands and all that. I don't want to I didn't think showing the bands would be good. Didn't need to show the bands. I was just trying to show her Canada's Wonderland. Haven't been to either in years. Yeah. Well, it's been a couple years for me too. Last time I was about 3 or 4 years ago, just before the pandemic. Just the year. And hello, Aqua. Okay, so I accidentally kept this in. I don't believe my mom's in this. This is a bunch of people from my old church. I think we were doing setting up for something or other here, as you can see behind. I'm actually this is my friend Susan here. I know a bunch of these people, but I'm right there in the red. After we get through some of this stuff, you know what? Maybe I will show this to you right now. I'll uh, take this down. Let's see. Clip Studio. I thought my mom was in this picture at first. That's why I kept had it put it in. Hey, Hero Shack, Diana, how are you? Going between things, it ends up messing with the music or the sound. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, I said hi to Diana. Um, uh, and yeah, Tim said I'm from the beginning. Switching things ends up messing things up. Well, let's see whether I can catch up on the chat here. No audio. There should be audio now. Yeah, there should be audio now. Yeah, accidentally when I can hear you again, Cross. But yeah, I went through a phase about 10, 15 years ago, probably that I wanted to do the Mohawk. I had wanted to do a mohawk since I was a kid, and now I'm a grown adult. I can do whatever the hell I want. My mom can't tell me not to do it. Yeah, and I accidentally muted myself by switching things. I didn't realize in when I put up Clip Studio that I would be muted. Well, it's because I turned off my camera. That's why I became muted, and I didn't have my mic on. So I'm not sure what you think of that. That's a very pro-white haircut. Is that Rick? Yes, this is me right here. This is my friend Brenda. These are a bunch of my friends here. Well, some I know their names, some I don't offhand. Um, this is my friend Susan Edwards. She's the one that runs the Christian Singles. This guy in the black here, his name's Antonio. I forget what this picture is from. Probably doing something for the church, like some sort of play or whatever. I'm not sure what that is in the background, but um, you know what? Let's get off of this. That's enough of me. This is not about me. Okay, so you guys can still hear me, right? This is the rifle. There are Hamilton is the true home of Mohawks. Yeah, he looks good though. Thanks. Uh, you gonna get Liberty spikes? No, I couldn't get it to grow high enough. Um, Dillard, your new name is Snowball. Do you like that name? Wow, lots of people there. Yeah, yeah. This is my rifle. There is, there are many others like it, but this one is mine. You all, all you would need either is glue or soap. I'm not sure about what. Yeah. Okay, so let's get back to some slides of my mom. So we'll get past this. So here is me at a Comic Con, at Hamilton Comic Con, and is Linda wearing an Obama shirt? No, she is not. This says hope, hope, hope. This was gotten from our church. I would have never guessed. Hey, Grant. So this is Hamilton Comic Con. This was my setup. My mom was helping me. I think this is my very first Hamilton Comic Con. I didn't have my books. I had a bunch of my art. I had my trading cards. This is where you tried to help me get the posters in time, Dillard. The Snowball line is another Full Metal Jacket line. And there's going to be a few of these right in a row. There's some duplicates of these pictures. This is a little closer up. Wow, she really was your first supporter, huh? Yeah. She was there all weekend. Table. She tried to help engage. Not always the best, but I appreciated her thoughtfulness. She wasn't quite the salesperson I was to trying to draw people in, but she definitely liked to talk me up. And in fact, at the last Comic Con she was with me at last year, it was, although I had the idea, but it was her idea to take my book over to Dean Cain and give it to him. I remember. I remember, yeah, the poster debacle. Yeah. And she did that. Oh, but she loved you. Yes, she did. And I was fortunate to get to let her know that I loved her before she passed. I was able to say it. The one, the first time I checked on her, she heard. I'm positive she heard me. Again, here's another one picture at the table. Another one. There's two or three of the same picture here, so a celebrity has a copy of Canadian Shield. One, yes. Here is my mom and me with a politician in this area. Well, he's not quite in this area. His name is Randy Hilliard. Um, he was very outspoken against the lockdowns and all that. My mom and he happened to come into Hamilton for to support another politician called Maxime Bernier. She must have been terrible at selling him. She was worse than you. Hey, be cool like Dean Cain and get a copy of Canadian Shield. Yeah. Well, he didn't buy it, but he passed by my booth a couple times and I did recognize him. But the last time that he did, like he showed it and it's like me that he had it. And it was like, yeah. I didn't recognize him first, but I recognized him just as he was getting past. I'm like, hope you enjoy it. And I've never found out. But anyways, yeah, he was there. So this guy became sort of a celebrity, so it was great getting our picture taken with him. Okay, I'm back. What celebrity has copy of Canadian Shield? Yes, and there is a link to the obituary and a link to the Give Send Go in the thing. Let me actually I accidentally closed things a while back, so there's the Give Send Go. Cancel. And let me put Dean Cain is. You put that in there. Okay. There. Let me put the Give Send Go link, and let me pin it. Okay, so that's now pinned. And I want to thank everybody that has given so far to that, too. And thanks for putting it in too, Dillard. I didn't see it there, otherwise I would have just pinned yours. So, this is Maxime Bernier, that politician that I was just speaking of. We were able to get thing. She hadn't joined the party, but she became, very proud of, liking him as a politician. So, she was glad to get a picture with him. We were there to hear him speak in a place called Gage Park here in Hamilton. So this is a picture of my mom from one of the singles events. Somebody had taken it. They used it to announce her death on Facebook. Oh, you need to give celebs a free copy more often. Yeah. What was Linda's favorite MCU movie and why was it Ragnarok? Dillard is always on top of things. Okay, so we're back to the beginning of this set. I'm not sure whether there was more for that set or not for pictures. She wasn't big on well, she liked movies, but she wasn't big on going to see them in theaters. She wasn't really big on the Marvel movies. So here's another picture. We're starting another set of slides. This is my mom and my grandfather when, as you can see, she was very young. Or it might not be her. It's hard to tell with the writing. It might be her cousin Ida Ann, but I'm thinking it's her. But it unfortunately some of these, I was told, but I'm not 100% sure. But that's my grandfather. I know that for sure. Okay, why does it not want to switch photos? Oh, because I'm on the wrong spot. She looks like a Guardian of the Galaxy type to me. Here is my. This is not one of the Christian singles event. I wasn't on her team. I don't think. I forget. But somebody had to be wrapped, and she was the smallest person, so she's the one to get wrapped. But I did take the picture here. There's a couple of these. A little bit up close. Oh, you were supposed to be making them into a Christmas tree. This was from Christmas or just after Christmas. Because I think we had the after Christmas party. So this wasn't too long ago, these photos here. Good recent time. And then another one. Oh, she looks like a Christmas mummy. Yes. I'm sure Evan Von Scriver would like it. Ah! The bullet thing. Damn it, Linda. Look at how cute she is. Yes. So, this is an event that we went back to in July, actually, me and my mom, for a Rebel event, where they were showing a documentary called Church Under Fire, and we got to meet the head of Rebel News, and she got to get her picture taken with him, Ezra Levant. He's actually only about the same height as me. I got my picture taken with him too. Hey, oh no, Captain. Timothy says looks fine. If you're not 100% sure, don't include them in the memorial video tomorrow for sure. Someone who knows that photo will be in attendance. Old photos are great though. Yeah. Well, actually, probably I doubt anybody that knows those photos will be in attendance. The only one that might is my dad, and I doubt he would. That's true, deal. Rebel News Pool says. So, and again, at the same event, two of their good reporters, the head of the Alberta office, or Alberta thing, is Sheila Gunn Reid there, and then one from Cobourg, Ontario, Tamara Leach. No, Tamara Ugolini. I'm confusing her with Tamara Leach, one of the convoy people. So she was really glad to be able to get a picture with them too, and we went up to Toronto that day, me and her, for this event. We paid to go see it, and she really liked that movie, that documentary. Was wanting to get it when it came out on video. I'm gonna have to make sure I get it in her honor or something like that. I've also got myself a picture with these two as well, but I didn't want to include that in this. And this Tamara, talking about Tamara Leach, This is Tamara Leach, one of the heads of the Freedom Convoy. Um, she had bought at the other event that this was in August. This was at the beginning of August. We only went up to this on August the 5th, less than a month before she died. And she was able to get her book signed that she had got at the previous event and say hi to Tamara Leach and get her picture taken. She really wanted to meet her. You know, we got to hear her read one of the chapters of her book. So, again, this is a picture that it's just one that my mom wanted me to take for, trying to do a profile pic or whatever for something or other. One of the few times she got me to actually get her picture taken. And like I said, if anybody wants to come on and share a story that you have, feel free. So this is my mom. I know this one is my mom. This is when she was like 5 or less, I think. I can't say much more than that, except about I know it's her, and I'm thinking 2 or 3, but I know she looks big for 2 or 3, but she said she was big for 2 or 3. So again, I think I'm not, well, it says me on it. So again, this is her probably shortly after her adoption by my grandparents. All my stories of are of her saying hi to the chat. Hey, yeah, but how did that make you feel when she came in and said hi to the chat? You can come and share that, Tim. I know a lot of times she'd come in and do that, and it irritated me a little bit or a lot. It's like I'm in the middle of a show. Some of them are, yeah. Probably most of them will be shown tomorrow, or they'll be up for people to see. I'm just, but you guys aren't going to be there to be able to see these, so I figured it'd be a good time to show them off. They're not going to be anywhere in the. If I'm going to try and do a recording of the service, so you won't be seeing those then. Well, okay. And Hiroshak says good. Dana says good. So this is my mom in front of a TV. I think she said she was 2. That would mean this was shortly after she was adopted. She was adopted at the age of 2. Or I'm pretty sure that's what she said. But, if she was adopted at 2 and she's been with them for a while, I wouldn't think she would be 2. But at least we get a chance to see them before tomorrow. Yes, yes, yes. Now you're gonna see this picture a few other times, but a little bit bigger. Unfortunately, there's some duplicates, but I don't care. There we go. I said you're gonna see it again, but bigger, a little bit zoomed in. And some of the photos are in good shape. Some of them aren't quite in so good shape. Hello.
Oh, hey, how's it going, Rick?
Good. Yourself?
Pretty good. Yeah, it was like I said, all my stories are usually of Linda saying hi to the chat. It was kind of nice that your mom wanted to be a part of your life like that. So
Yeah, it was. Like I said, at times it annoyed me, but especially Mom. I get the earphones on.
Or what about when you had to go to she was trying to use like her computer wasn't working, so you had to get up and you had to go help her fix her
Yeah,
computer, or she.
yeah.
Eh, good times, good times. Hey, what up, Elric?
Hey, Eric.
Yeah, that's all. That's all the story I got. So
Yeah. Hey, it's better than nothing. You know.
yeah, yeah, it pretty much is.
Like you had a good mom. Chad says. Yep.
Yeah,
Laugh out loud.
like I said, she was your biggest and probably your first supporter.
Yeah. And here is my mom and dad on their wedding day. There's gonna be a few wedding pictures in here, so you know she would have been like 19 or 20 here, maybe 21. So oh, and Timla. So here's another picture with on my mom with her wedding day. Back to the chat with me. Oh, you could have stayed on, but and this is my grandfather, her father. I'm not sure who this is. That doesn't look like my grandmother. So, oh my God, do I sound like that? and but this might be my grandmother here. Oh, your mom was beautiful cross. Thank you. I remember when she told me about the chosen. Yeah. So here's my mom. I believe my grandmother on her mom and my grandfather. And then we're back to the beginning of that set. We've got a few sets here. Here's my mom and dad. They're signing, doing the signing, you know, of the marriage certificate and all that thing that you do. Uh, what's when her and her bridesmaids and Flower Girl. What year was that, Rick? Um, I'm not exactly sure what year they got married. Um, I'm thinking it was 69 or 70. I'm not 100% sure. I know it wasn't 73. That's the year I was born. It was a couple years after, you know, that I was born. And some more pictures of her with her bridesmaids and flower girls. And I know she's told me the year before and all that, but it's just slipped my memory. Late 60s, maybe. Yeah, it would have been 69 or 70. That's, I'm positive. She was born in 52. Well, maybe it was 7. It had to have been 70 because that would have been 18. Maybe it was 71. I'll have to ask my dad maybe tomorrow, next time I'm on. If I remember, I'll tell you guys. Somebody remember to ask me. My mom and dad dancing at their wedding. My mom, dad, her bridesmaids and flower girl and his best man and groomsmen. Which I'm not sure who they are, but I'm not sure who her bridesmaids in that were either. But these might be my uncles, my uncle Donnie and my uncle Charlie. But my uncle Charlie is supposed to look like my dad, and neither of these guys really look like my dad because they apparently got confused a lot. Again, another photo of her and her bridesmaids. Unfortunately, something happened to this photo. Another one of her and her bridesmaids, Flower Girl. Now, this is, of course, my mom and my dad. And the guy beside my dad is my grandpa, my dad's dad. And I believe this might be my grandma. It looks like my it looks like my Aunt Diane a little bit, but it also could very easily be my grandma, my dad's mom. Hey, RH, how are you? Hugs for you. What a beautiful picture. Yes, this is my mom and dad on their wedding day, with his dad and I believe his mom. And again, this is my grandfather, I believe. Well, both my grandparents plus somebody else. I'm not sure who. My dad, these photos, my dad might be able to know who they are, John. And again, the wedding party. Uh, do you know where that was taken? Uh, Most of these are taken on a thing called the Mountain Brow in Hamilton. The church they was at was Chalmers Presbyterian. The building still exists, but it's now used for other purposes. The church known as Chalmers is no longer. I just found that out a while back when I was trying to find out some stuff, look it up for another purpose. And there you see, I think my grandfather, my dad, my mom's dad, and her walking down the aisle there. And again, there's my mom and dad coming out. Like I said, there's some duplicates of these, or different. Camera moved slightly. My mom unwrapping some sort of gift on her wedding in her wedding dress. Interesting. Uh, this is quite some years later. This is probably about 20 years ago. This is my mom and a guy that she was dating at the time called Don Patno. They're at a Huntley Street dinner, I believe, of some for Huntley Street for something. Hey Rick and everyone, did they throw rice? I'm not sure whether they did or was it snow. It definitely was not snow. There would have been no snow to throw. I don't think. Actually, there might have been because, or no, I don't not sure. Back in the day, when you had to be steady with the camera, yeah. Or they would have just taken several pictures too. So again, this is from the same event. Um, this is my mom, her date, and some other friends. And then this is if you've ever watched 100 Huntley Street or Noble Crossroad Christian Communications, uh, this was the head David Maines and his wife Norma Jean. It was probably rice. Everyone threw rice. Yeah, yeah. Well, it looks like he got most of it on him. So, and I think that takes us back to the beginning. I thought it snowed everywhere in Canada in the winter. Yeah, well, first of all, it has to be the winter, and it doesn't snow all the time in the winter. And it doesn't snow everywhere in Canada in the winter because Vancouver area does not get snow, at least not very often. So let's get another one here. Okay, so again, I'm not sure when this was. I think this was when I was young. This is my mom and my her cousin Jean. They were out somewhere together for something. I'm not sure what exactly. Those are great pictures. Thank you, thank you. Well, I shouldn't say thank you. I didn't take them. Now this is sounds like California, but with rain. Yeah. Well, that's what Vancouver has. They have rain. Now, this I believe is me, and this is my mom in the fur coat. If it's not my mom, it's actually my grandmother, my mom's mom. It's hard to tell, but I'm presuming it's my mom. Now, this is again at my mom attended some tapings of Huntley Street, the Crossroad Christian Communication Program, and this is a picture that they took of the studio audience, and she is right. Well, I know you can't see it, but she's about. You see, there's a guy, there's a kid. I'm not sure if you go with the guy in the middle that's in the jacket. If you go to the left, I think the left or right. Little Rick Piper, yeah. What the heck happened to you, Rick? Oh, wait till you see some other pictures. Um, you know, you know what? Let me get this one in thing here. Okay, so let me take all these off, and let's bring up mute. Oh, sorry. I thought. Okay, sorry about that. Let's do this again. I gotta remember when I switch just to Clip Studio that I will be muted. Oh, you know what? I could just mute the camera, right? You know what? Let's mute the camera. That way, I don't mute the mic for that. Forgot. Don't forget to unmute yourself, Groth. I saw your mom in the picture when you zoomed in. I think it was your mom. Yeah, it was. Is MacTavish an Irish? No, Scottish. My mom was adopted at the age of 2. Time happens to us if we are blessed. Yes. Okay, so let me do that again. So this guy, this kid in the white and black shirt with the writing on, that's me. And then to the side, next in between me and the woman with the glasses, that face is my mom. This is at taping of Huntley Street. or after taping of Huntley Street, they like to take a picture of the studio audience. Used to be filmed in front of a studio audience. She was Scottish. Yeah. Or that's what we definitely like to believe. You know, MacTavish is Scottish name. That's you. Yes, that was me. So there is a picture of me and my mom when I was fairly young, as you can probably tell. Why is it in black and white? Because that's what they took it in and gave it to people. I can't answer why they did it black and white, not color, when it was, you know, like in the middle of the 80s. Oh, hey. Oh, that sketchbook did ask that. Hello, sketchbook. So there's a, we'll have a few ones like this where it's me and my mom. Another studio audience one. It's probably just her in here. We'll have to zoom in. So let me get that up in Clip Studio. And you don't look that old to be in black and white pictures, Rick. No, I'm not. Although people do take pictures with black and white photos, they did back then for whatever reason. I guess it was cheaper, especially if they're handing it out. So again, studio audience at Huntley Street. Some of these pictures did not age well. Now my mom should be in here somewhere. Oh, there she is. Right there. Oh, and this next to her, the bigger guy in the t-shirt, that is a friend of ours called Larry DeWolf. Unfortunately, he died. He died like 30 years ago, maybe 40. But he was a friend of mine and my mom's since we lived on Mud Street. He actually liked her. I think he liked her a little bit, but she wasn't interested in him in that way. I forgot he was even in this picture. Rick is 100 years old. The one with just you and your mom. Okay. I mean, that's in this picture. I spelled too fast. Yeah, no problem. Who knew Rick was going to show business like growing up? This is Rick's version of Nickelodeon. Chris is a real elf then. Okay, so let's get me back on camera. Here's a picture of my mom on a couch. That this again, I believe, is on Mud Street in the living room. Why has no? Why was his name Larry the Wolf? Not the Wolf. Duh. D-E Wolf. I believe it's a French name, although he did not seem French to me. But that was his last name. Now, here's a picture of my mom in her partying days. At one time, my mom was a little bit of a drunk. Yeah, that's how you spell it. Although I don't think there's a space between the E and the W. She would go out and party a lot. And I was probably born at this point. Um, but yeah, you know, if there was booze around, she drank like a fish. She swore like a trooper. That she did that. We were on Mud Street there. That was for about the first 3 to 4 years while we were on Mud Street, and then that's when she became a believer. Not that she didn't have a belief about God before then, but and this is my mom down in New Brunswick. I'm pretty sure it's my mom at about 6 years of age on a horse on the farm that I believe my grandfather grew up on. Because we see August of 58. So I'm thinking it is her. And then this is her with a couple of her cousins, probably at Christmas time. Again, I'll have this picture in a different angle, and then I think I have it a couple times. Your mom was a horse wrangler. I wouldn't say she was a horse wrangler, but I get where you're going. There's like I said, a different angle with her with a couple cousins. I know one's name. I think the one on the skinnier one. My mom's the one in the middle, I believe. There's the skinnier one, I believe's name is Ida Ann, and I'm not sure what the other cousin's name is. That horse was huge. Yes, it was a Clydesdale, I believe, a working horse. But my uncle, whose name was Major, he was Major MacTavish. Um, but I don't believe he was in the army at one point, but I don't believe he was a major in the army, unless you include his name. But yeah, that was a horse that they had on the farm to help plow the fields. Same picture again. So again, this is yeah, that makes sense why it was big. Um, Again, this is another picture of my mom. Just it was a time that she wanted us to go get family pictures done. She got some of herself done. One of the few times that she actually purposely posed for a picture. I think this was shortly after we moved down to Emerald Street. I don't think this was up on Mud Street. Your uncle was Soap MacTavish from the Call of Duty. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it was based on him. This, my mom's not in here, but this is a bunch of my mom's old drinking buddies. I just figured that I'd include it. I'm gonna try not to include it tomorrow, although it's probably on the flash drive. The guy laying down, his name's Larry Turner. The one woman that's blonde her name's Carol. Think of the guy with the black hair behind the blonde is named Mike Derby, but I don't think that's right. I'm not sure who the other two is. I was about to ask if she was in her teens because she looked so young. She was the one she posed for. The You mean this one, Elric? No, she would have been in her 20s, maybe her 30s at this point. Yeah, she would have been in her late 20s, early 30s at this point, Elric. Okay, so this is a picture with me, my mom, and a few other kids around. I know who three of them are. This was for a birthday party I had. Probably when I was around 7, to be 7 or 8, maybe 6. Okay, so she had young looking jeans. Yeah, where do you think I get them? Well, I get them from my dad too. But the other boy here, right on the far end, underneath the girl with pink or reddish, his name is Skip. The taller girl in the back is her name's Kim, and then one of the either I'm not sure which one is on the other sides. Either the girl in the pink or the one behind my mom. His name's Colleen. I think the one that's behind my mom is Colleen. Like I said earlier, some of these pictures are not in great shape. There's this picture slightly better. All of us in basically the same position. And of course, I'm sitting on the chair there next to my mom. And again, us in a different pose. This is on the Mud Street property. This is probably near the back of it. Well, not the back of it, but back of the house. Because that property was huge. You see all that area there? That was I was allowed to play in that. I had that to play with. Go back here. I might have a couple other of these later. Okay, so now we're back at the beginning of that. Oh, I mean, forget how old you are, Cross. You still look like your early 40s. Well, that's bad. I used to get 30s. So here's just me and my mom. And just a slightly different off angle so you can see this back corner of the house. Again, all that was my backyard to play in. That tree there that you see there, that I climbed that I don't know how many times, that tree. Thank you, South Lagoon. Thanks, cuz. Hey Roger, may your mom be enjoying God's paradises, Rick. I wear there are no thirst, no pain, no sadness, just everlasting love and happiness. Yeah. All that was a corn. No, that wasn't a cornfield. The cornfield was behind. This is just tall grass. Oh, Rick. Okay, this is me and my mom inside the house. I know it's blurry. Probably on the same birthday. We're probably in the hallway there. This, I think, is the kitchen. Actually, I don't think it's the kitchen. It looks weird. I'm not sure where this is exactly in the house. Because from what... Oh, no, 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 no. Yes, it is the hallway. Because this part here is kitchen on the right side. The side that's closest to my mom in the picture behind. Um, this where this door is open. That's the door to my room, and then the space behind in the door frame behind is our living room. Don't mind me. I had to get my bearings for the house. It's been quite some time since I lived in it. So this is my grandparents, my mom's parents, and her. I'm not sure at what age or where exactly. And again, anybody that wants to come on and share a memory or whatever, feel free. Again, here's my grandparents and my mom at an early age. Probably shortly after she was adopted. Now, my mom worked at a place called Operation Blessing. This was a food and clothing bank where at one point she became the head of, and of course she's there. This is a Christmas party for it. I was thinking this was me in the white, but I don't think that's me. So yeah, I think you can see my mom fairly easily there. Uh, Me and her again. Okay, looks like some copy doubles of things. Okay, I don't know why there was doubles. Uh, as you can see, my mom's there. Uh, my cousin Jean that you saw earlier. The lady that's beside her, the lady in the pink, which is my cousin, is my Aunt Annie. Again, I think she's deceased now, and that was only a few years ago. And then the one next to her is my Aunt May, who died a long, long time ago. Unfortunately, she had Alzheimer's. My mom looked after her for a bit. And then I recognize the other lady that's right beside my mom, but I'm not sure of her name. And okay, this is me, yes. But my mom went back. My mom didn't complete high school, and she went back to school for upgrading. Aunt May, yeah. I had an Aunt May. Go figure. I'm Peter Parker, but I didn't stay with that Aunt May. But my mom went back to school for upgrading. And they had a Christmas party, and I went with her one year. And they had a jar to guess the number of jelly beans or whatever, and I got it. So that's me grabbing my prize. But I wouldn't have got that because it was my mom's Christmas party for her upgrading. Are you Spider-Man? No, don't say you had an Uncle Ben. No, her husband was not named Ben, and um I forget what his name is. I've been told, but I think I actually had two Aunt Mays. Everyone had an Uncle Ben. If you count that that they sell rice. Yes, sounds so good. Uh because you might actually be Spider-Man. Jay says Uncle Ben's converted rice. You look like Peter Parker in this picture. I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Um, I think I was going. I was either just about to start high school in this, or I had just started high school in this picture. One of the few times again that my mom posed for a picture, me and her. Now you're gonna see this one in a sec without all this crap on the side. There we go. I know I'm a lot fatter in the face. I look so different back then. I look at that picture and see my face here on the side here, and I'm like, you'd never say that me and him were the same person. This picture looks like a definition of cozy. That's a nice picture. Thank you. Again, my mom and dad married. Like I said, they have a lot of these ones. A lot of this one in particular are very versions of this. There's my mom again. I think you saw this one earlier. Again, me and my mom, different picture, different time. And the shirt that I'm wearing in this, I had it up until about 5 years ago or less, 2 years ago, and when I got rid of it, there was a couple holes in it. And I figured it was fine, time to finally get rid of it. This my grandpa had my her dad had to been alive because he always wanted me to get my hair cut short. I didn't like getting my hair cut short, so that's why my hair was short back then. He'd take me to the barber to get it cut, pay for it, even when I didn't want to. But there was no convincing him otherwise. And unfortunately, some of these pictures have uh, gotten pathetic over time. It's a version of the last one, but I'm on the other side. And again, this is a shirt that I had until recently, or sweater. And that other one again, but in a frame. And then we're back to those. So here's me. Oh, I always let my hair grow. And then once it got annoying, I get it cut. It saves money. Laugh out loud. Laugh. Yeah, well, my grandfather didn't care about the money. He was just, the boy needs to have short hair. And I'm pretty sure this is my mom. It looks like her a lot. Although she's a bit chubbier in the face. And her hair's, black or brown or whatever. Again, another one of my mom on her wedding day. Again, wedding day. I'm not sure whether this is, I think this is her and my dad coming down the aisle after being married. Again, her and her bridesmaids and flower girl. Did she dye her hair? Yeah, she did dye her hair. So maybe it was one time a picture taken before she dyed her hair one time when it had gotten to get brown or black. But she dyed it blonde a lot through her life. Now I'm not sure whether, I don't think this is her, but like it looks like it could be. The only problem is there wasn't a lot of color photos, so this is probably her. I'm probably not going to include this tomorrow. Was your dad my papa's brother? Yes. Well, they still are brothers because they're still both alive. And then here's one of my mom. I'm not sure when this was, but oh, her natural hair was not blonde. I think it was blonde when she was young. But just like me, uh, it went not blonde. Oh, my bad. It's so South Lagoon. I meant to say is. That's my mistake. Yeah. And that's like the last picture I have. That works, laugh out loud. But, you know, lots of stories, lots of things, like the amusement park. My dad, back in the 80s or late 80s, early 90s, I think late 80s. I forget exactly when. He paid for me and my mom to go to Wonderland because I wanted to go to Wonderland for a birthday present. Um, but that day, my mom ended up being sicker than a dog. But she went. She trooped through it. She went as on all the rides that she could stomach, and we made it through the day. And we still had a good day. Um, Trying to think of some other stories with her. Just recently, like I said, we took the train up to Toronto. Well, the bus. Well, one time it was the bus, the other time it was the train to go to the Rebel News events. Yeah, I'll probably be seeing your papa tomorrow. Well, and I'll also be seeing my dad tomorrow too. South Lagoon. Um, you know, love my mom. Sometimes we fought because, well, as you may or may not know, my mom's funeral is tomorrow, South Lagoon. Oh, no, yeah, you said condolences earlier. So, so yeah, my mom died. So, my dad was saying Uncle Charlie, your papa, might will probably be by the funeral. But yeah, we fought at times, but we got along. She was probably my closest confidant. Was Wonderland, like Knott's Berry Farm? It's a amusement park, but with roller coasters, more more roller coasters than theme rides. Yeah, uh, Wonderland, Canada's Wonderland, is probably Canada's most premier um, amusement park. I'm pretty sure it's the biggest. There's only like four or five major ones, if that. West Edmonton Mall, I know there's one in there. My mom loved to call Canada's Wonderland Roller Coaster Land. Who hasn't fought with their parents? True, 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 true. But I basically lived with her all my life for 50 years. Yeah, I've been, a couple months here or there, or weeks here or there. Been out. Yeah, she called it roller coaster land because there was so many roller coasters. Uh, if you know the show The Littlest Tobo, it's about a dog that goes around helping people. German Shepherd, actually. Um, in like one of the first episodes, if not the first episode, they show Wonderland. Or it might not be the first episode, but it's an episode. It's before Wonderland even opens. A whole new chapter for you, Rick. Yeah, and 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 I know you will do your mom proud. Yeah, cool. I know I won't be there tomorrow, Cross, but I will pray for you and your mom. Thank you very much. I'm going to be trying to record the service. I'll have to get somebody to take over when I'm speaking. Of course, I'm going to say something myself. Um, And I'm going to try and record the grave site as well, what's said and done there. And I'm going to put that up here on YouTube for you guys. You know, like, you knew her, you loved her. A lot of you guys there out there that watch me a lot, you know, sometimes, might wait for the time when she comes in. Is Rick's mom going to be here? Is she going to say something in the chat? Or is she going to come into the room and say something? Say hi? A few of you has got to talk to her off air. So I think you guys will want to see that. See what's said and all that. Hear the service. Linda says hi. Yeah. Hi, Rick's mom. Yeah. I wonder what happened to Dylan and Metal. I would have liked have them come on and say something. But if, as you know, some of you may know, John Dillard set up a gift send go for me to help out with not necessarily the expenses of the funeral itself, but going on in life. You know, because things are going to be a little difficult for the next little while. So your mom is proud of you, Cross. She truly is the king's kid. Yes, good times for real, Joshua. But there in the description and pinned there at the top of the chat is the link to that. And if you want to, also in the description, if you want to sign the guest book on the obituary site, you can do that. She's gonna see you fulfill your comic book. Two, that the writing something in the digital guest book doesn't cost nothing, so it's a way for you to also contribute something, if you want, no forcing anybody or pressure. I'm just trying to think of other. Oh, I know what I'll do. Quite some time back, for Mother's Day or her birthday or something like that, or Christmas, I got her a couple little knickknacks about mom. Uh, there's this one, and then there's this one. And if you give me a sec, I'm going to turn on this little light here, and I'm going to read them to you. The first one says, Mom, if I follow the example that you've always set for me, if I heed the good advice that you've given lovingly, then I'll be like the person who is reading this today. The dearest mom in the world, loved more than words can say. Rebecca is saying, RH Snow, yes, she was so proud of you, Rick. Thank you, RH. And then the second one, the one with the blue. Blue is her favorite color, too. Says, Mom, you've been my strength, the rock on which I stand. I've gained so much wisdom, guided by your gentle hand. The kindness you have shown in every word and deed has been a blessing in my life in so many times of need. So there, I got those for her years ago. Those are a couple things, of course, I'm gonna keep. You know, heck, another thing that I'm gonna keep. I don't smoke, but she was so proud of having this cigarette holder. She liked this of all her cigarette things. I think she liked this one the most. So I'm keeping this as well. There's going to be other things I keep too. Um, I don't think I haven't shared this. People at my church got me this sympathy card. I'll read it to you in a second here. I don't smoke either, but that's pretty cool. On the front it says, "Gone from our sight, but never our memories. Gone from our touch, but never our hearts." And then on the inside it reads, uh, "Thinking of you and hoping your memories of special times will bring you comfort." And then every people that wrote stuff for me to me and all that. So there's that. And then I showed this one off the other day, but maybe some of you didn't see it. This one was from my next door neighbor. "Always remember," it says on the front, "those who touched our lives, the way in stay in our hearts forever." There was one other smoke thing that she liked too that I was gonna keep. I'm not sure. She had quit once for 3 years. Then unfortunately something happened and she started back up. So I might keep this one. I might give it away. I'm not sure. It has like Libra on the top, but the zodiac. She didn't care about that, but she liked that. It was sort of a rainproof one. Not that this wasn't really rainproof either, but oh, and so when I went to Brazil on my mission trip last time, Brazil, this is something that I got her that I'm obviously gonna keep. The Lion of Judah. She loved pictures with lions and all that. Because of Christ, the Lion of Judah. Those are a couple things that I'm gonna keep. I don't know what else. There's lots of stuff I can keep her in my thoughts. Not that I need that because you know I know where she is and I'm gonna be with her one day. But till I'm with her again with Christ in eternity. Was she a Libra? I don't believe so. Hey, good night, Spoon. She was born in January. She was born January 10th, 1952. And plus, she didn't really believe in all that stuff. At one time, she did. She before she became a Christian, before she put her faith in Christ, she actually practiced witchcraft a little. She would even say that she was a witch for a while, although she grew up being taught about God. She grew up in the Presbyterian church. Capricorn? Okay. At one time, she actually made up for. I think she sort of made up horoscopes. I forget exactly, or she was starting to get into it just before she came to Christ. So I think I seen or heard you saying something the other day, Good Night Spoon, about maybe popping by tomorrow, or is that a no go because it's Wednesday? Yeah, I know you were saying if it was a Thursday or Friday, it would have been better. What more do I say? What more can I say? You know, she was very loving. Well, as you probably all know, she was very loving, very forgiving. You know, most of the time, you could do almost anything to her and she would forgive you. Well, she would because she believed what God said. You have to forgive. She practiced it. Like, and then she tried to help. She taught me you try to help people out as best you can. We brought in borders. I don't know how many times. That's how we got to know my buddy Chris. That none of you guys have met, but you've heard me speak about him. And that he became like a son to her. She died not knowing where he was or how he was doing because he took off 5 years ago because he got into some financial problem. She had gotten some various inheritances over the years from different places, and some people took her from thousands of dollars. I would like to, but I have prior engagements with distant relatives in town tomorrow after work. I wouldn't have been able to make the middle of the week anyways, but wishful thinking. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no problem, no problem. I just figured I'd ask, to know whether to look out for you. Although I know I've seen your face once or twice. I forget what it looks like. But Joshua's logic, yeah, the logic was, you were there for me in a hard time in my life. It'd be nice to be able to repay the favor. Yeah. Tell us what she would say to you now, knowing that she is waiting from heaven, still here across. Fight the good fight, and of course, not physical. Try not to mourn. I'm in a better place. I got no more aches and pains. I'm all healed. It's just a little hard. I'm missing her. Heck, I was missing her when it wasn't even 24 hours, when it was barely 12. Because I know she's gone and not coming back. I've been out of her presence for 12 hours before and not missed her like that. I've been out of her presence for a couple weeks, a month, even before. Fight the good fight where I'm healed and grown. So I would be certain she would tell you not to blame yourself. Yeah, and for the most part, I'm trying to do that. Um, just because of the way things went down, of course. It's a little tricky in my mind, anyways, not to do a tinge of it. Like I think I've told most PBs here. Your mom is watching over. Yeah, like I found her collapsed. I got her into bed. Checked on her a couple times. First time she was all right or seemed all right. Second time she was basically gone. I kicked myself, because like after having got her into bed, I knew I should have called the ambulance and didn't. In some ways, I knew even when I found her collapsed initially, I probably should have. And that's where I'm going to blame myself a little bit. But at the same time, I know I can't let myself dwell on it. I can't let it rule my life because it's not what my mom would want because she is in a better place. I try to be honest with myself, but at the same time, not try to crush myself. Did I hear somebody there? No. What to say? What to say? And I think, as you could tell, in like almost every single picture I showed you, she had that great smile. Like on my Facebook, everybody mentioned, or a lot of people that said about her smile, such a nice smile, such a great smile, that she was always smiling. I remember when it was my grandma's time, the only thing she wanted was to go home. She was scheduled for a release to hospice the day after she passed. I just knew she wasn't going to make it. Oh, that's sad to hear. Well, the great thing is, when I checked in on her the first time, I was able to tell her I loved her. The only thing I wish, maybe, is I would have been able to hear her say the same thing, but, you know, I was asking her about, you want me to get an ambulance? And she said no. Maybe she knew it was her time, that she was going to die, and she didn't want to prolong anything or any suffering that she might have been having. I don't know what was going through her head for sure. see if, yeah, it's gonna be okay, Rick. She prepared you for this. She worked so hard to get you ready for this moment. She wanted to know you were loved, and you are. Thank you. Maybe she didn't want you to worry. Yeah. Let's see. Without anybody has, but well, also they need to be approved. So yeah. And with everything I say, I know that she loved me. Yeah, sure would have I liked to have heard it one more time. Yeah, but I know that she loved me. Yeah, you will hear your mother's words in your dreams, Rick. She will tell you she loves you back. Thank you, JR. You know, heck, right now it's almost as if she's in the room with me, right? Just need to, keep this picture and open up this, and I can make it like she's in the room with me. Grant, well, also just as important, she knew you loved her. Yeah, but yeah, I can feel the emptiness in the apartment without her. Her presence here made all the difference. I'm not sure what else more to say, trying to think of stories that I could tell, but can't remember a lot of them. It was wonderful how she showed an interest in what you were doing and came in to check things out while you were streaming. We'll all miss that. Yeah, as much as it annoyed the heck out of me a lot of times, it's gonna, I'm gonna miss it now too. Well, as I was saying earlier, like I saw you were asking for stories earlier. Yeah, you will always remember. Yeah, if you've got a story, Good Night Spoon, feel free to share. Um, well, I was gonna say something about a story for me or whatever. I forget. I I know what I was saying. Like for the most part, she was, my confidant. Like I told her a lot. We were very close, and she told me a lot. Although we were, yeah, she was my mother and all that, but she was my friend, and we got most of the time we got along real well. Ulrich says, "Yep, her, her here heard the door just opening and checking on you." Yeah. Goodness Spoon says, I enjoyed her sharing her knowledge of classic television shows when she when we were having our phone calls. I mean, she just opened the door. Opened the door. Sorry, I spelled too fast. No problem, Alric. No problem. You know, I know you. Like I said, you guys aren't going to be at the thing, and you're not going to have the podium to share tomorrow. So I figured, as much as me sharing the photos and a little bit of my memories of my mom with her that you guys might not know, I figured this would be a good time for you to share some stuff. You know, you know, for you guys to grieve, although you guys aren't grieving quite the same as me, but like Grant said, you guys are gonna miss her too. You're not gonna get to see her come in and say hi and all that. And though she knew you could handle it yourself. I appreciated the time she stepped into setting the chat straight when we got out of hand or crossed the line. She was the good mom. She always poked her head in and smiled. Yeah, I am. I'm not sure how many of you guys watch the stuff with a halal that I do, but she likes to come in during that too and get in a bit of that too. True, a laugh out loud. I remember that. Says Elric. Yeah, so I have no idea where things are going from here. Like I know I'm gonna still do my comics on a different note, and well, same note. I don't know. I'm still gonna do my YouTube. That's for sure. It's gonna be a few weeks before I get back up and running properly, though. But that's because next week I'm taking off to LA. I'm probably gonna do some live streams on the way down, though. I'm gonna set them up. It'll be a bit orthodox where and when, or unorthodox. You're going to win. Thank you, thank you. And yes, I am. I wish there was a way to extend the 6 more minutes, but not much being said. We're going over a bunch, and we went through all the videos. Um, there's a couple of things that I'm going to be looking for. We have my mom has some old home videos that her dad took, and I got them transferred onto like digital a while back, like 10, 15 years back. I did it for Christmas for her 1 year, and they're supposed to be on a disc around here somewhere. How about a prayer? Yeah, for sure. um um so when I find that, especially if I find it in a decent amount of time, I'd like to. I'll probably do something similar to this, but play the movies instead. I wish I could make it to LA to see you. What? Well, Elric, you know there's going to be a party at Dillard's on the 17th, right? In Riverside. I'm not sure whether you can make or whether you have a way of getting there. But if you don't, maybe let Dillard know he might be willing to pick you up. And the 17th, of course, is a Sunday. It's the day after the con. Like, hopefully, maybe you can come to the con too. We meet up to the at the con and sit by the table and sign a couple books for people. Have both your signature and mine. I'll make sure to bring your copy, your cover, to close out. And I'll just wait till Eric responds. I might. I hope I can make it. Yeah, well, you know when it is, right? Just try to start planning now. Or are you talking about the con or the party? Or both? No, just wait for Elric to answer and then pray and end the party with you and Dillard. Oh, okay. Okay, with that, guess I'll pray. Dear Lord, and I probably should have started this with a prayer too, but oops. Dear Lord, thank you for us all being able to gather here, who was ever able to come for however long. Thank, thank you for allowing me to be able to share a bit of my mom's life with them, to get to know her better. Um, Thank you for the way that she affected us all in our lives. Was able to be impact all our lives in the way that she was able to. And I know that's different probably for each and every one of us. With the different interactions that we had for her, and let the example that she showed to all of us in whatever way rub off so that we can serve you better and be better examples for you in the world to come. In your name, amen. And so that would seem about it for the close. And we're at like 1:59 in a few seconds. So I might wait just see if anybody says anything to the end of the prayer. And then say toodaloo. Amen. 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 And again, thanks for Timothy coming on for the short time, and thanks everybody in the chat. We got another couple amens, and thanks everybody in the chat for coming by. Kim B says amen. For everybody coming by in the chat and listening to me and share, and like I said, hopefully we can do something similar to this again, but maybe with some home videos. So bye for now. God bless, and hopefully I will have a video for you tomorrow or Thursday for the funeral. So bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great night, day, and God's peace be among on you. And